I have a question for you. Is your phone's photo gallery filled with sunny seaside escapes while you're stuck staring out at the gray, rainy street? Does it mean you have the dream of moving abroad for a life filled with sunshine and adventure? But there's a monster in the way, and this monster is called bureaucracy, and its sidekicks are fear and overwhelm. And this monster whispers all the scary what-ifs in your ear until your dream finally feels like completely out of reach. If you let those whispers win, your dream will die on your desktop. You stay exactly where you are, watching someone else live your life. And this video is your instruction manual for slaying this monster. I'm giving you the exact step-by-step master plan that will turn your chaotic fantasy into a calm, manageable project. We will replace your fear with a checklist and get you from I wish to I'm here. Okay, picture this. It's 2020, it's mid-COVID, and we're trapped like everyone else in our tiny Berlin apartment. But as I'm scrolling, I see people who aren't trapped. People living where the sun is shining, where they can see the beach. And that was the day our dream was born. Move to the ocean. And the adventure part of me screamed, yes, like let's do this. But the German security-loving part of me was traumatized. How could we do this? How could we earn money there? So I sat down and did what I do best as a professional organizer. I started organizing. So first of all, let's talk quickly about planning paralysis. For years, the sheer scale of this move paralyzed me. You get caught up in this loop. You feel like you have to get as much done as possible before you go, but you can't possibly do everything from here. So the secret is finding this balance and trusting that you will figure out a lot along the way. Now a quick disclosure. This was the plan that worked out for our family's move to Spain. It's a guide and not a legal advice. Every country, every situation is different, so please do your own research. The key is to stop treating the move like a Pinterest board and start treating it like a real project. Let's dive into this now. Step 1, the most important thing, residency and legal status. This is the boring, non-negotiable bedrock of your move. Your legal status is the key that unlocks everything else. Banking, renting, healthcare. Without the right papers, you are simply a tourist and your dream has an expiration date. So, what have we done? We are both EU citizens, so we have a massive advantage that we have no visa stress. We can just move from one EU country to the other. But even with German passports, Spain requires a temporary NIE for a lot of things that I will cover later. So that NIE is our first and most critical piece of Spanish paperwork. It's the official first step from dreaming to doing. Step 2, income and work. And this is the question that keeps everyone aspiring expat up at night. Without a clear plan for your income, your dream is just a vacation. So you need to know how you pay the rent and how the income connects to your tax obligations wherever you're registered. We are both incredibly fortunate that we can both bring our jobs with us. Chris is a filmmaker and I have my online organizing business. But that doesn't silence the late night conversations about risk and stability. And especially as a parent, you are responsible for a tiny human being, so you just can't take a leap. And that's why before our big move, we saved up a lot of money before, so we can figure out a couple of months, even if we don't have income or we are busy with the move or adjusting and paperwork or whatever. So when you're planning this move, make sure you have some portable income that you can bring with you. You don't need to run for the next paycheck as soon as you arrive there. Step 3 is you need a place to stay. Because you're not just looking for a rental, you're looking for a soft place for your family to land. And having this address, even a temporary one, is the anchor you need for school registrations, local paperwork, and also your own sanity. What do? We found a small, fully furnished house in Tahora, and this also was a strategic decision for us. It means no international moving trucks, no frantic IKEA trips with exhausted children, no building furniture. It's a ready-made space to land and then catch our breath while we figure out if Spain is truly something for us. It's a home base and not a forever home for us. Step number 4, belonging and storage. And this is where the professional organizer in me meets the overwhelmed mom. Like the sheer volume of stuff can be really paralyzing. Deciding what to sell, what to store, what to ship, it really forces you to get brutally honest about what your new life actually requires. So soon our apartment will be a chaotic landscape of boxes and emotional decisions. And we're sorting our entire life into 3 piles. Things to sell, things to store here, and essentials that we're going to take with us. And this process is messy and it's not just a minimalist fantasy. That's where the real, gritty work of editing your life down to what truly matters starts. Because we are not just decluttering a home, we're making space for a dream. And if you're interested in that, the last video I uploaded was already about the 5 questions that we ask ourselves. How do we downsize? What do we take with us? So if you're curious about that, check out the next video, but also stay tuned for the next videos because I'm going to show you along the journey how we do this, of what we're packing and what not, and how we're moving. If the thought of this step alone makes you want to call the whole thing off, I got you. I put everything into a simple PDF checklist for moving abroad. You can grab my free checklist by clicking on the link below, download it, print it, and just breathe. All right, step 5, local registration and ID numbers. Just when you think you're done with paperwork, there's more. The local registration or ID number is the key that unlocks daily life. Without it, you can't get a phone plan, sign up for utilities, or enroll your kids in any activity. So, even though our main registration remains in Germany, the Spanish NIE number is essential. But it's the back to the reality of paperwork, appointments, and official stamps. And it's tedious, it's unsexy part of the adventure, but that makes the rest of the adventure actually possible. Step number 6, finances. Money again. The question is, how will you pay for groceries in the country where you're moving in when your home bank charging you a fortune in fees? Cross-border finances can bleed you dry if you don't have a plan. You need accounts that work for your new life. So a Spanish bank account is a must-have for us, especially for things like a long-term car rental. While our main finances will stay in Germany for now, daily life requires local banking. It's one of those small logistical hurdles that can cause major headaches if you ignore it, so just do it upfront. Step number 7, insurances. Nobody dreams of moving abroad to read the fine print on insurance policies. But as a parent, your brain is hardwired for worst-case scenarios. So protecting your family against illness or accident is what allows you to actually enjoy your adventure. What do? We spend hours, and I say truly hours, reviewing our health, liability, or travel coverage to see what applies in Spain and where the gaps are. It's a profoundly unglamorous work, but this work actually lets me sleep at night knowing my family is going to be safe there. So check your insurances also up front. And while we're already talking insurances, let's talk about the healthcare logistics in step number 8. Why does this matter? You don't think about healthcare until you desperately need it. So knowing how to find a doctor, what the emergency number is, where's the nearest pharmacy, and before a crisis hits, it's a non-negotiable part of moving, especially with kids. So when we were house hunting, I wasn't just looking at the kitchen. I was on Google Maps checking the distance of the nearest hospital, also a pediatrician. Knowing where to go when your child has a fever at 2 a.m. in a new country provides a very specific kind of peace. And while we're talking about the kids, coming to step number 9, school and daycare. And this is the emotional heart of the entire move. Your child's sense of security and also the happiness is everything. Finding the right school or daycare helps them transition, gives them community, and gives you the space to work, have some income and finances, and also to breathe. So, our son Neil is 2, so we're exploring Spanish daycare options right now. The thought of him learning 3 languages, English, German, and Spanish, is actually a dream come true. But also there's the mom guilt. Like this, will he adapt? Will he feel safe and loved? Will he be able to understand his teachers? So no checklist can actually prepare your heart for this move. But figuring out where you're gonna put your kid, if school or daycare or whatever, is going to be a big part of your moving decision. And last but not least, we come to a bit easier, step number 10, and that is transportation. Because mobility is freedom, and in a new place, not having a transportation plan can leave you feeling a little bit isolated and also trapped. Whether you need a car or public transit or a bike, you need to know how you get your family around from A to B. And transportation is for us a huge puzzle that we're going to solve. We still think about if you need to buy a car, if we can lease a car, import a German car. So the logistics are a bit complicated. Even booking a long-term rental, we need this INI number. And then we need 2 car seats for the kids, and this isn't an optional detail, this is like a fix. So we still are figuring out this, but it's essential to our daily life and freedom that this is done before. So we haven't landed in Spain yet. Our apartment is still here, it's still chaotic, and we still have the boxes and the checklist. But in the middle of all this overwhelm, I feel a sense of calm that I haven't felt in years, because we have a master plan now that isn't just about controlling every variable. It's about building confidence, and it's also the tangible proof for me and my family that we aren't just crazy people running on a whim. It shows that we can be both responsible parents and have brave dreams at the same time. So knowing we have thoughtful answers to the big, scary questions gives us the headspace to actually feel the excitement. And also it proves that you can do this too. So if your dining table looks like a paperwork crime scene, grab this free Moving Abroad PDF checklist, links in the show notes. It's the exact system I use to keep our move on the track. Click the link, download the PDF, and breathe. So, moving abroad isn't for superheroes, it's for people who'd rather follow a checklist than a panic spiral. We're doing it with 2 kids and 0 Spanish meltdowns so far because the plan is holding us. You can do this too. Build the plan, book that consulate slot, and I'll save you a spot on the beach.